3 days before the Hong Joo gala, Amara sat in a gold-trimmed salon surrounded by fabrics worth more than her old apartment. A renowned designer barked Mandarin commands while assistants fluttered like anxious butterflies. Wei Chen arrived unannounced. His eyes swept over her like a study, calculating, intrigued. "Red?" he asked, nodding at the fabric pinned to her body. "Power," Amara said. "Not submission." He came closer, his voice low. "Red is also danger." Amara smiled. "Then I hope they're afraid." For a moment, his fingers brushed her bare shoulder as he adjusted the drape. Not possessive. Just deliberate. Too deliberate. That night, Amara sat across from a private Mandarin tutor, struggling through phrases while Wei Chen listened nearby, silent as stone. After an awkward pause, she turned to him. "Why don't you help instead of judging?" "I'm not judging," he said. "I'm listening." "To what?" "To how far you're willing to go to survive this." She dropped her pencil. "I don't need to survive. I need to win." Their eyes locked. For the first time, no pretense. He stood, walked over, and corrected her pronunciation with a soft murmur by her ear. His breath warm. His words sharp. She didn't pull away. The next morning, Amara was summoned to walk the estate gardens with Madame Chen. The matriarch stopped by the lotus pond. "You and Wei Chen spoke late into the night." Amara didn't blink. "You planted the microphones?" "I planted the roses." They stood in silence. "You see this garden?" Madame Chen said. "Everything here blooms because I prune without mercy. And everything here obeys because it's too afraid not to." Madame Chen smiled faintly. "You understand more than I thought." "I understand everything," Amara replied. "Except how a woman so powerful still needs a shadow war to feel safe." That afternoon, Wei Chen handed her a tablet. "You need to know what they'll use against you." The file contained surveillance photos, twisted narratives, even a blurred photo of her with a college ex. "They're building a scandal," he said. "Drip by drip. The gala will be the tipping point." Amara stared at the screen. "And if I tip it first?" He looked at her, impressed. "You're not playing defense." "No," she said. "I'm playing chess." His lips twitched. "Then let's open with a sacrifice." That night, she stood on the balcony, the Shanghai skyline burning like fire in the dark. He joined her, quiet. "I saw the way you looked at me during the fitting," she said without turning. "You wore red. You stared." "I noticed," he admitted. "But I don't mix strategy with impulse." She turned slowly. "What if they're the same thing?" The air cracked between them. His hand found her waist. Her breath hitched. Their faces so close the world could have vanished. But he stepped back. Not rejection. Restraint. Amara blinked. "Next time, don't stop." He didn't answer. Just walked away. Too slowly. Hours before they were to fly out, Wei Chen took a call behind a locked office door. Amara listened from the hallway. Words like blackmail, media leak, and Madame's plan moves forward. She leaned against the wall, thinking fast. By the time he opened the door, she was composed. "We're being set up," he said. "I know. You heard. I also know how to ruin a narrative." For the first time, he looked at her with open admiration. "What are you?" "A problem," she said. "For everyone who thought I'd stay quiet." Hong Joo shimmered. City lights carved gold across the Black River, and spotlights swept the evening sky like celestial guards. Inside the gala venue, a modern glass and marble masterpiece floating above water, Amara's heels clicked with quiet authority on polished stone. She wore a red silk gown. Not just crimson, defiant red. Her black skin glowed like obsidian under the chandeliers. Every movement was a calculated storm wrapped in elegance. "Remember the plan," Wei Chen murmured beside her. His tailored black tuxedo did nothing to soften the steel in his eyes. "I'm not here to remember. I'm here to rewrite the script," she replied. The Hong Joo Gala was a battlefield of billionaires and legacy bloodlines. Every glance was a dagger. Every smile a loaded gun. Cameras rolled. Translation headsets buzzed. And on the main screen, her name already shimmered in Mandarin and English. Keynote speaker, Amara Chen. She climbed the stage alone. A pause. A breath. Then, she began. First in English, then in Mandarin, her accent crisp but respectful. "I am not the story you expected," she said. "But I've never needed a script to make history." A few gasps. Several raised brows. But more nods. When she finished, the applause started hesitant, then spread like fire catching dry grass. Even Madame Chen, in a high-collared jade dress, tapped her fingers once. Maybe approval, maybe calculation. Backstage, Amara exhaled. Barely. Wei Chen handed her a small bottle of water, eyes dark with something unreadable. "You spoke like a storm," he said. "I am one." But before they could exit, a voice stopped them. "Beautiful dress," said Lin Yao. Amara turned slowly. Lin Yao's icy silk gown clung to her like frost on glass. Her pale skin shimmered, her painted red lips curved, not in welcome. Wei Chen's jaw locked. "You looked comfortable up there," Lin Yao said to Amara. "I was," Amara replied. "Try it sometime." "Careful," Lin Yao purred. "Crowns slip when you stop checking who's polishing them." Amara smiled. "I polish my own." Lin Yao's eyes flicked to Wei Chen, who remained silent. Then, with a final glance, Lin Yao disappeared into the gala crowd, her threat scented like expensive perfume. Outside, the press waited. Lights flashed. Questions flew. Amara stepped forward, answering one with a sly smile. "Mrs. Chin, what does your rise represent?" She answered softly, but it carried. "That I'm not here to fit the crown. I'm here to forge it." That night in the car, silence settled around her and Wei Chen like velvet. "Did you mean it?" he asked. "Every word." Then a whisper from him. Barely a breath. "Then we burn together." And somewhere in the quiet, with Hong Joo's lights behind them and the world beginning to take sides, the fire between them grew. No longer just strategy. It was danger. It was possibility. It was them. Their convoy sped toward the private jet. Amara leaned back in her seat, rehearsing lines for the gala. But the car swerved violently. "Junjie!" she shouted. Black SUVs blocked the tarmac entrance. Men in security uniforms approached. Too fast, too coordinated. "They're not ours," Wei Chen said, already pulling her down. Gunshots rang out, not at them, but overhead, as warning. "Get behind me," he ordered, voice hard. She grabbed his wrist. "I said I don't trip." He smirked. "Then run with me." They burst from the car as smoke bombs exploded near the runway. Screams. Sirens. Lights. Wei Chen's men closed in. Chaos erupted. And through the madness, Amara realized something chilling. This wasn't an attack. It was a message. Not just to her, but to him. Someone wanted to show that neither of them was untouchable. The mansion had fallen quiet, save for the whisper of rain against glass. Amara wandered into the study, drawn by the soft glow of lamplight. Wei Chen was there, sleeves rolled up, collar still slightly unbuttoned from the evening's event. Papers lay scattered on the desk, but his eyes were on her. "You should be asleep," he murmured. "I could say the same." She moved closer, brushing her fingers along the spines of ancient books. "Is this where you keep your secrets?" "Some," he said. "Others, I wear in plain sight." Their eyes held. The air between them shifted, no longer charged with tension, but with something slower, warmer. He stepped toward her, but didn't touch her. She didn't move back. It was the first moment neither of them pretended indifference. In the middle of the night, a crash echoed through the halls. Amara jolted awake. Rushing down, she found a shattered vase in the foyer, an antique Madame Chen treasured. Standing beside it was Wei Chen, breathing hard, a message clutched in his hand. She glanced at the shards, then at him. What happened? His jaw tightened. Someone's making their move. And they're using you to do it. Amara's blood ran cold. "We're not just pretending anymore, are we?" she asked. He looked at her, finally, as if seeing her not as a pawn, but as a partner. "No," he said. "We're in this together now. And it's about to get ugly."